Hey, I'm Suzanne.
And I'm Annie.
And we have
111 years of experience.
And on today's episode, we've been talking about, just before we got started, we've been talking about job losses,
Job transitions,
and how you react to them.
how different people react to them, and how that's affected us in our lives.
Yep. Because it's happened more than once for both of us.
For both of us, yeah. Why don't you go first?
Okay. Well, it's happened to Greg twice. When we first got married, he was working at a place called American Colors. And it was this place that they made gel coat. And it was like stuff you sprayed on fiberglass. And I have no idea how he ended up with that job because I was still in college. But I guess he just went, and he was a strong back and he was young, and they needed strong backs and young people. And so he was doing that and making like quite a bit of money at the time for us when we're, first getting out of college. And he had a degree and I was getting a degree, and, we didn't have any kids. We lived in an apartment. So we were, making quite a bit of money. We had a lot left over at the end of the month. Let's just say that. We had a lot. And we didn't realize how much we had left over at the end of the month until we didn't.
Making it rain.
We were just like, let's get this and we'll do this and we'll go out to eat here. We went out to eat a lot because it was almost the same amount of money to spend money to grocery shop.
You were going to have to go to the grocery store and pick up stuff that was going to cost so much. You might as well just grab
I ate at lunch at school, and, we ate out, and we just did what we wanted because we didn't have any kids, and we were good. Mm-hmm. We were just good. We were like, well, we want to buy a house. So a year and a half later, we got a house, and we stayed in this house for, I forget how many years before we had Shannon.
It was like 2 or 3, right?
Yeah. I think we married 4 years before we had her.
Okay.
So we'd been in the house for a little bit. Then we got the dog. We got the cats. And then we got the kid. And a month after she was born the end of May. And not even maybe a month, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. She was a baby, like itty bitty baby. He got laid off his job. They were like, you know what? We're just going to downsize and we don't need this position anymore.
They didn't need that strong back anymore.
Didn't need that position anymore. They moved him up to like an assistant manager or something. They were like,
we don't need it.
Yeah. And they wanted us to move to Cincinnati, to Sandusky. Not Cincinnati, Sandusky. And I was like, I'm not leaving my mama.
No,
nope.
It's not happening.
And Orlando, they talked about us moving to Orlando. And I was like, not leaving my mama. Not with the baby. Not leaving my mama.
Not that. It was just that was not the timing for it.
No. So, because I knew, well, that was before we had her, but I knew that I was going to need help. I was like, there's no way I'm moving to another state.
Right.
And have a baby. I'm like, that's crazy. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I need my mama.
Yes.
And I did need my mama.
Yes.
That was a true statement. So then he was, in June, was laid off and was, looking for a job. And it was October before he got that job at AutoZone. Mm-hmm. And it was rough. It was rough because we had a newborn. We had a house payment. He was feeling the pressure. And I was not making, I was a teacher, but I wasn't making...
No, teachers are notoriously kind of underpaid. Like, you want to say maybe the average is
I had the insurance, which was covered.
And that's a big plus. It was a huge plus. But no,
I was making $18,500 first school year.
Wow. Yeah, that tells a story right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that was at that point in time.
But that was 1990, 1991.
And that would have been not terrible. Like, you'd have been, people would have been pretty thrilled with that at that point in time. But
it wasn't what he was making.
It wasn't what he was making.
He was making a whole lot more than I was.
Right.
So when we lost that income, that was, whoo.
Yeah.
That was rough.
It hit.
Because we hit with a new baby and a house payment, and we might even had a car payment.
And then there was this moment where I'm sure your blood pressure went, ah.
Yeah, well, and my hormones were going because I had this brand new infant and, up and down all night long. And
it's easy.
It was hard.
Now, how did he react to it? How did it affect him, do you think? And how did it affect you? That's
a good question. We were both... I I kept thinking, it's going to be fine, because that's who I am. It's going to be fine. It's
Yeah.
going to work
Sunny
out. It's
side
going to
up.
be
That's me,
fine. Sunny side up. And he was like, we're never going to find what I'm looking for. I need to find a job that pays, foolishly thinking he was going to be able to find a job that paid what he was making. And he thought if he didn't have a job that paid what he was making, that we weren't going to survive. But that was not the case.
That was not actually reality.
That was not
reality. It was just this narrative that he'd kind of created in his head for what he was looking for. And in reality,
no, we didn't have a lot of bills, but he had already been paying more on all of them.
Sure.
Than what we needed to pay, than what the actual payments were.
Mm-hmm.
So when we pulled all that down, we had an ADT security system. We got rid of that. There was just stuff that we got rid of that just cut some
life creep out of your life to get back down to your basics. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Getting back down to basics.
And that helped, but it was hard.
Right.
It was hard. After about the second month, when I was going back to school and he still hadn't gotten a job yet, I was like, you're going to have to maybe lower your standards just a little bit just to get something, because we got to have something coming in, because at some point, the unemployment was going to run out. Mm-hmm. It was only going to be for so long, so he had to come up with something. So he finally got a job at AutoZone in October. Mm-hmm. And that ended up lasting, I think he was there 14 or 15 years. He was there a long time.
Yeah. He grew it into something better.
Right. Yeah.
And that's pretty much what you kind of have to do. Like when you're it is to a point, it is getting like you kind of have this expectation in your head that you're at this level and now I've got to come back down to this level and start over rebuilding again. It's very frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
It's incredibly hard. But it's all the mindset. It's the mindset of that's what I need to be doing to feel like I'm who I was before. You're the same person.
Yeah.
But it's all this stuff plays.
It's a mind game.
It is a mind game.
Messes you up.
It can mess you up. Yeah.
I think he felt like he was just never going to find, just like hopeless, you know?
Yeah. And it's easy to fall into like a depression or a rut almost, like where it's hard to get out of it. And I think that like when you're going through it,
I think I was too young.
And you were like me. You're like sunny side up. It'll be fine. We're going to be fine.
Well, I just was too young not to think anything else.
Yeah.
Because I never.
Well, also, probably because you just had a kid, your focus was 100% on that.
Her. Yeah.
And okay.
I'm like, I got to keep this little human alive.
Yes. Right now, I'm worried about this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I can't be, you know,
whatever. And there was a lady that babysat her, and before, when she started in August over there at Rita, I remember she gave me bags of clothes that was so sweet that I didn't have to buy anything for a long time. It was bags of like
that's fabulous
little clothes and stuff. And she liked Rita liked yard sales, so she'd go to yard sales and she'd
pick them up for a dime, nickel, dime, quarter.
Yeah. And she said, I got you this bag of clothes if you need it. And I was like, she bought her a little sheep outfit. It was the cutest thing. It had little ears on it.
She was enjoying herself.
She was. It was sweet.
That's what Rita's of the world. Thank you.
Yeah, I tell you, Rita was a lifesaver.
That's fabulous. Yeah.
But, we had people help us here and there if we needed it. My mom and dad helped us if we needed it.
I think that's the other part of it is to like decide, okay, I don't need to be the one who takes care of everything, that I can rely on my people to help me
if I
walk
really
through
need
this.
some help.
If something's really happening, they'll be there to help us get through it. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were. And they
were totally there.
They were.
Yep. Well, we had a similar thing happen when we first moved here in 99. And when we first moved here in 99, we thought this was going to be the job. And we got here, and then within I'm going to say it was like 2 months or something after we moved here, that Mike,
it sounds like almost the same scenario.
Yeah, Mike got let go of that job.
Yeah, and you just bought a house.
We weren't in the house yet.
Oh, okay.
So, but this was supposed to be me not having to work outside the home anymore.
Right.
And that dream ended. It just got, no, that was not happening.
And how old was Barry? He was like itty bitty,
He was
wasn't
2.5.
Oh, yeah.
Almost 3.
Little. Yeah.
Just barely. He would turn 3 that November. So this is in August, and then I think that he got let go in October, and Barry turned 3 in November.
Okay.
So it was all bing, bang, boom like that.
Yeah.
And I remember I had to go back to work, and it was really hard because I did not want to leave him.
No.
Now, God knew, and he knew that that's what Barry needed. I didn't know that,
No.
but God knew that this was what he needed. And it really put me in touch with a lot of people. So even though it wasn't anything that I wanted because we'd moved to a new place,
right.
it was actually good because
you found a network.
I was able to plug into an already existing group.
Yeah.
And it actually turned out to be really, really great. So then I worked at daycare for about 4 years. And I worked in the kitchen most of the time. And I liked the kitchen the best out of all of the jobs there. But it really did. I was thinking, you know, you go to college for 4 years and I worked at the daycare for 4 years. It's probably about the same.
Yeah.
I got my degree in taking care of kids at that point.
Yep.
And, but anyway, we got through it. It was really tough. We had to make it, like you said, we had to cut out a lot of extras out of we had to like streamline and everything.
Yep.
But
I mean, you have to.
You have to. But I can remember at that point he was looking the same way, where he had convinced himself that I need to be.
I have to have this much money
to survive.
Yeah.
This is survival money. We're talking about paying the bills and everything. But what happened was he took, I think he was validating checks at South, AmSouth. Is that
AmSouth? That sounds
was that
like
a bank?
Yeah, that was a bank. Yeah,
AmSouth.
Back in the day.
Yes, back in the day. He was validating checks overnight, and he had a little check validator, and he was running them through, and he had 10 key. He's like always been good at 10 keys. That was his, that's one of his things.
Greg can
inventory.
Do that.
Inventory and doing enough numbers and all that, you get pretty good at it.
Yeah.
So he was always really good at that. So he did that, and that was like the stepping stone job that led him into, and then he eventually went into in convenience stores, and he's been in convenience stores now ever since. But last year we went through it again when he got laid off from his corporate job of 22 years. And so this was a new time of us going through it.
Yeah.
And it's been a big challenge for us. I mean, I would say anytime you have a big change in your life, or someone in your life is having a big change, you're just more sensitive to, you're just really trying to help support them and everything. But there's some part of it where I just really didn't know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
It's hard to know sometimes. I don't want to be like, the one thing I don't want to do is put more pressure.
Right.
But on the other side of it, the other part of it is I want to be encouraging. Yeah. So I got to encourage, but not with pressure.
But not with pressure.
And
that's a fine line.
That's a fine line.
That's a line that you got to dance on.
Yeah, and it was
carefully.
similar because they had asked us if he was be willing to move to another city, and we're like, no. We're not in that position. That's not where we want to retire at. So no, we don't want to move.
You're like,
but we figured that once we had rejected their offer, it was only a matter of time until either A, he wound up working remote, or B, he would be let go by by them. And so I kind of like those last 5 months or whatever, 5 or 6 months were
kind of waiting
tenuous.
to see what was
and it was kind of just waiting to hear, what's going on? Well, he's still there, and it was all kind of like
but
that.
We don't know how much longer.
We don't know how much longer, and they're and so but he's been off now since early December, and we're past the severance part. We're into the unemployment part of this, and had a few really good interviews, and then things just that didn't come through. And they kind of thought maybe could go through more than would.
That last one I really thought he was going to get. It just makes me mad that he didn't get it.
It was, but honestly, and like I tell them all the time, that's their loss. But the mindset is still there of I have to make this amount.
Yeah.
I have to do it. I have to make this amount. And I was just like,
no, you don't. You're fine. We don't have to do that.
But the other part, life is about, yes. And I understand you have to make a certain amount for survival. I get it. And maybe that's the difference between men and women, or maybe it's just personality things. But I think he feels like I need to have this much going for me to feel like it's worth the investment of my time. Yeah. And I'm like, dude,
it might be time to lower the standard just a little.
Well, because what happens is being off can mess with your mental health when you've been let go like that, and then you're searching, and then you're getting rejections. Yeah. And I said, part of this is that you have to kind of go in there with the idea of, I'll do something that I wasn't planning on doing until something better comes along. Right. And sometimes that takes a while.
Yeah.
sometimes that, or maybe you start
And you
like
think,
your
well,
husband
it's not-
did start growing something new,
Right.
like in an unexpected place. You start blooming where you get planted, and then you start building that into something new. Or, but I don't know. I think that like for us, it's been like, okay, so let's see, December, January, February, March.
This is March.
So 4 months here.
Yeah. This is almost the end of March.
Yeah. So I'm going to say we're kind of in, like, you have to be careful because it's easy to fall into like not a depression necessarily, but like a rut where you're just, you know, this time, you know, the money isn't as scary for us because, you know, we've been really focused in on it and, you know, planning that this could happen, and we have more notice about it, like, okay, you know, we just need to be really cautious over the next whatever. And, and we're kind of frugal cheapskates anyway. So that was not like, you know, that wasn't really like a huge jump for us. But the big thing is that even if it's not what you were doing before, you still have so much value and you have a lot to offer. Yeah. And so, you know, not offering it at all, and not offering it at all is kind of a waste. You know, somebody should be benefiting from how much he has to offer.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you keep getting rejected.
And so like,
it just kind of wheels you down a little bit.
It does. It totally does. So like I said, hopefully like we're going to work through this. And like I told him before, you know, the money used to be like the number one probably thing to think about. But now I'm kind of in this thing where I want your mental health and your happiness and
to be the
because it's
priority.
Not all has to be attached to the other. Right. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That also is a mind game to play. Okay, I don't take my value from how much of a paycheck I bring home. You know, I don't assess a value by the kind of work that I was doing or the title of my job. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's a different thing too to think about.
Well, and that was me when I first retired. You know, I was kind of grappling with not bringing, I'm bringing home money because I'm getting a pension, but I'm not going out and bringing anything else, you know. But I got over it pretty quick. But, you know, I cook every night. Our clothes are like I washed those 2 blankets today. Yeah. The floor's vacuum. You know, I can keep up with everything else. I've already been to the grocery store. Yeah. There's just so many things that I couldn't do well.
Well, that's the thing is like, where do you, and I think it comes back to those things like we talked about in the very beginning of the podcast is where do you arrive your own personal value from? Yeah. You know, where does your personal value come from? How do you define success to yourself?
For yourself.
Not just like from the world, what the world looks at it and says, okay, well, this, and this. It can't be like that. You have to take it individually and be like, my idea of success right now is blah, blah, blah. It's not going to be what is right for my neighbor on the right or on the left. It's got to be, it's a personal thing. And once you can do that and you have that in your pocket, wow, it frees up a lot of
things.
It frees up a lot of things. And all of a sudden it's more about who you are as a person and less about what you're making. And also like,
and I think that's harder you think that's harder for men?
I wonder about that because like you know, we have a lot of other things that like we fall back on. I don't know very many ladies that don't have like 3 or 4 good like little things that they do on the side of their life. Yeah. But gentlemen, no, not generally. They generally have like that one thing. I go to work. I take care of my family. Yeah. I do good at work. I bring home a paycheck. I take care of, provide and protect. Yeah. And I think like it's enough for you just to be happy. Men or women, like it's enough for you to just be satisfied with what you're doing. It's satisfactory. It's okay. It does not have to be the definition of me. Like my job is great, but is it the definition of me?
Right. It really shouldn't be.
It doesn't have to be. I don't feel like it has to be.
And I feel like mine was for a long time.
Well, it's easy to fall into, don't you think?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then too, I think like we have to be really careful too, because we judge other people, and we judge them by the same yardstick that we have our own lives on, and that's not fair. Because everybody's different. Everybody has different problems and issues and strengths and weaknesses, and you know what's easy for some people, math. is not easy for some people. Me. You know, it is really truly just, you know, you kind of have to. Life is an individual game. You know, it's an individual game, head game, where you have to you have to kind of come up with your own criteria for what makes your life successful, what makes your life happy, what gives you fulfillment.
And everybody's different.
And the things that fill my cup may not be the same things that fill somebody else's cup.
Right.
But
I'm clean house fills my cup.
Don't you feel like it's one of those things that you had put on the back burner?
Oh my gosh,
for your entire life,
just like all my adult life. I was like,
you were like, I'll do that later.
When my house was clean when I didn't have children.
Right.
But as soon as I got kids, then all that went out the window.
But it was like, too, don't you think? It was like, you were going to have to choose between, I'm going to give this energy to work.
Kids and work.
I'm going to give this energy to work.
The house just kept going.
We have to pay the bills. I'm going to give the energy to the family because that is a priority in my life. And I'm going to give the energy to, you know, keeping everything going. Keeping the whole
juggling
machine
all
going.
The things,
and there comes this point in it where
the house ball just got thrown.
It did. Because there was, you know, if you've got 20 plates spinning, that house plate it's easy.
It's gone.
It's okay if it falls.
Got thrown in the sink.
We'll deal with that one later
if I have to.
So I think that part of your retirement fulfillment is to be able to have the time to do it and the energy to do it and the, you know, to be excited about it and have some fun with it.
Yeah.
It's not just a chore now. It's like
well, I have energy and mental clarity to be able to just like do things.
Yes. And not feel so overwhelmed all the time.
All the time.
Overwhelmulated. I heard that word the other day.
Overwhelmulated. I like it.
I like it. I've
was
been
me.
there.
That was me for probably the last 10 years of
But
talk.
I think like, you know, it's easy to get wrapped up in the material stuff. Like, you know, okay, well, if I have this kind of car or if I have this kind of home or, you know, from the way everything
I gotta keep
looks.
going up.
Yeah, but that really is so superficial. And like, I feel like maybe too older we get, we're better at spotting through those.
You're like, my 16-year-old car is just fine.
But it's a facade, you know. It's just if it gets you from here to there, when you're trying to get from here to there, it's all right. It's okay. It doesn't have to be. It's just it's okay to be just what it is, and I'm thankful for it.
Oh yeah,
do you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I'm thankful for it.
Yes.
I don't really want anybody else's challenges in those directions. So I'm very thankful that we're okay. You know, and okay is okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we put that on a T-shirt. Oh, being okay is okay. It's okay to be okay.
I need to write that down.
It doesn't have to be the top. It doesn't have to be, you know, whatever. It doesn't have to be. It's okay. I can be thankful for
what
my
have.
My little mediocre life.
Stuff. Yeah.
That's, you know, it's not the fanciest. It's not this or whatever. You know, no, we're not going on this huge thing or doing this special thing or whatever. No, we're not doing that right now.
No.
We're hanging out. Like I think also, if you know any teachers, they will understand this. That the teaching world over spring break has a tendency to go to Florida, have big trips. They all take. Sometimes they take cruises. Sometimes they go, all over and have big fancy weeks.
Yeah.
And some people ask me are you guys going anywhere next week? Nope. We're not even doing nothing. We're staying home and we're gonna. Probably work on some stuff for the house.
Greg only got 1 week of vacation for like almost the whole time he's worked.
Wow.
1 week.
That's crazy.
1 week. So we never could go anywhere because he only got that 1 week.
Right.
So he usually took it around Christmas. So he could be off, for Christmas.
That just seems almost illegal.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should got more.
Well, when he was, I think he got 2, but when he was with Bobby, he only got 1.
Okay. But yeah, we're working through. I'd say this, we we've been very blessed, and we have been really good little squirrels and saved away a lot of acorns, and so we're fine. It's fine. But that part of it is fine. We're fine. The big part of it is I'm more worried about his mental.
Yeah.
I want to be a supporter of his mental health, that, you know, but not put too much pressure.
Right.
And so like it's support
Yeah.
without pressure.
Yeah.
And that can be a little tipsy.
It could be.
You have to be, it's
be.
a fine line to be able to
Yeah.
well, I mean, somebody.
When the shop closed and he, you know, that job went away.
Oh, for Greg?
For Greg, you know, he was like, ugh. And I'm like, we can live on my paycheck, because the house was paid for by then.
Yeah, and that
We're
was
like,
really a big...
we can live on my paycheck. It's okay.
Yeah, that was a big free thing for us, too. It was like a big freedom moment when we didn't have to make a house payment anymore, a mortgage payment.
Yeah.
And so that we didn't have to feel so worried about when things would pop up.
Yeah, I'm like, just, you know, find something that you want to do.
That's what that's
same
exactly
thing.
what I said.
Just find something you think you can do.
Find something that you think you're going to be okay with.
And it doesn't have to be is what you made. It doesn't have to be
and
that.
just ride it out for a while and just see what happens. And, you know.
And he thought he wanted to go back to AutoZone, and he quickly changed his mind.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember that, yeah.
He took that job for a minute, and they did a bait and switch on him so fast.
Yeah.
It went from, oh, you're going to do this, to, oh, we have you in this program. He's like, whoa, that's not what I told you I wanted to do.
Yeah, they wanted him to throw him in the manager and managing.
Yeah, he'd already done that. He's like, I've already done that. I am not doing it now.
No, I don't want that. And
so
that's another
like,
part of it, is like I was telling Mike, he doesn't want to manage other people anymore. He's like, that's
Right.
the one thing he doesn't want to do.
I don't blame him. I wouldn't
manage
want to
other
either.
people, because he said, I'm just happy to just take care of myself. You know, just do my own
Give me
thing.
things to do, and I will take care of them, and I will do them.
And I will make sure they come back to you
shiny and awesome
beautiful,
and
I will, yes, and it will be great. But no, he's like, I don't want to be in charge of other people ever again if I can help it.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not something I'm interested in, because, you know, that, and I think once you've done it and you know, you should be allowed to say, I don't want to do that.
I agree.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You should be allowed to say, I just want to worry about myself and what I have to accomplish, and not have to, yeah.
So the job that he has now, he probably, I don't know how many months we went until he got that job.
I would say it was probably 6 or 8. 6?
I don't remember. I feel like it wasn't as long as it was before. Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to ask him. I can't remember. But once they closed the shop, and he found that job where he's at now, and he was like, I don't know anything about.
I remember that. Yeah,
because it's tractors and stuff. And he was like, you know, he was a city boy, raised in the city. And he never been on a tractor, never been around
He's been around a lot of automobile parts, and a lot of
and it was a
automobile
parts
things.
Position. And he was like, I just don't know anything about this. I don't think I could do this. You know, he was kind of second guessing himself. And so he did he interview for it? I think he interviewed for it, and they offered him the job, but he didn't take it. And he took the AutoZone one. And then he came back and he said, is that job still open?
And they were like, yes. So, yeah.
And they were like, we don't care that you don't know. Because he was like, I just don't know. I mean, I can try to learn this, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it.
Like, and then if I remember right, when he first started, he was like, I'm going to suck at this.
Yeah, and that drove him nuts.
That was a mind game for a while.
Insane.
Because it was such a new...
He was like, oh my gosh, they're going to fire me because I don't know everything. They were like, it's okay that you don't know everything.
You don't have to learn it. You're not going to learn it in one day. It's okay. It's not like that. That's not realistic.
I mean, he watched YouTube videos and he worked his butt off to learn all that stuff.
Yeah.
But to cram it all in his brain. And he just kept thinking, they're going to fire me, they're going to fire me, they're going to fire me because I don't know it all. And I'm like, but you're going to learn it because you're smart.
Yeah. You are capable of the change.
And he did, and it's fine.
Well, I mean, that's the other thing, is you kind of have to accept that when you do jump from one thing into a brand new thing,
I mean, it's all
you're going to suck for a while.
Yeah.
It's not going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes, and it's okay. Generally, people are usually pretty understanding about the fact that you just don't know what you don't know yet.
Well, the reason they hired him is because he'd only had 2 jobs.
Yeah.
And they were like,
we like that.
We like the fact that you've only been 2 places and you haven't been 2 places in 2 years.
Exactly.
Because everybody else that they interviewed had bounced around a lot, and he had not. And they were like, well, we like you because
longevity.
Clearly you're trustworthy. Clearly you show up for work every day. Clearly, there's all these things that he that had to do with character. It didn't have anything to do with what
Character.
he knew.
That's it. That have to do with
And
character.
they were like, we want him. We can teach this guy. Mm-hmm. And he's been there, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years?
Something like that, yep.
Has it been 2 years? I guess it's been 2 years. I'm not sure.
2 years plus, isn't it? It'd be almost 3 years this fall, right?
Was it? I don't even remember.
I
don't remember when he got that job.
I'm guessing. I would have guessed it was 3 years in fall.
Okay, maybe it is.
Yeah, but it was, I mean, this is the other part of it too, is like the accepting that I am not going to be doing what I had been doing. Mm-hmm. That this was, you know, that part of my life is now done. I think there's a grieving process that goes along with that. Mm-hmm. And watching someone that you love go through the grieving process is hard.
Yeah.
I feel like it impacted me so differently than it impacted him. Mm-hmm. To me, I'm like, well, I mean, like, I'm not going to lie. I would have to say, yes, it impacted me. And no, it is not always the easiest thing. But in general, I'm going to say I feel very similar to the way I felt before about him. It did not change my opinion of him. It did not change the way I see him. It does not, honestly, you know, I just want to help be a support while he's going through something that's hard. So, but I think that when you're personally looking at it, you can sometimes come to that conclusion that other people see it that way. But I have not seen it that way. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yep.
It's hard. It's really a hard transition. As we're like, so job transitioning in general can be really difficult. But when you're job transitioning and you don't necessarily have something already lined up and you're having to learn a completely different thing, it can be a big challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, if as things go forward, though, I really feel like there's a matter of time and he'll find something. Mm-hmm. The biggest thing is I don't feel like he's just got too much to offer. And like I was thinking, that was the words I was using before. Was I feel like he has way too much to offer to not have
using all those
to not
skills
be using
he has.
it because he's just he's got fabulous skills and he's incredibly bright and able to learn a lot of things and stuff. So like you were saying about Greg, you push himself to learn new things and stuff. So I think it's just a matter of time. It may not be the financial part that he wants, but I think that there's still more work out there for him. Yeah. And he's not the kind of person to sit around and watch YouTube all the time, but being off,
that's what he's doing.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
And so, and then I'm, I was like, that's not you, babe. Yeah. That's not you. You're going to be a much happier person. Yeah. Usually he's the first one up. He's the one in there making the coffee. He's the one to, have you done this, blah, 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 blah. And he'll have his list and it will go down the list. Like he's the one who is the motivator of the
driver.
The drive. Oh yeah. His drive. Yeah. The driver. Yeah. And I'm, okay, whatever.
You're the rider.
I'm like, passenger princess. So this is a real change in our dynamic.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, but I'm trying to be very supportive and helpful.
Job market's tough right now.
It is. It's really a bad tough. Market. On top, the economy's not. It's not where it was. No. Things are more expensive, but we're very lucky to be in the position that we are in. That it's not. We don't have to be scared right now.
You're not hurting.
No, we're not scared. So, and that's a blessing all in itself. That's enough right there just to have a whole podcast about being thankful. Yeah. Because I am so thankful for, the choices we're able to make. And now we get to reap the benefit of that we don't have to be so scared. So that's good.
Yep.
So, okay. Yeah.
That's good.
All right. In conclusion, that was a long one. In conclusion, we want to say, if you're going through a job change, transition in your life, you'll get through it.
Hang in
there. It may not look exactly like you'd like it to look or what you would imagine, but we're all learning. Mm-hmm. We're all trying, and try not to let your values get askew over what is really important.
Yeah,
that's really the hardest part of it, I think.
Yep.
All right.
All right. You guys. We'll see you soon.
See ya.
Bye.